Welcome to AGSD Stories, the podcast that brings you the voices of students, staff, and communities from the heart of Alaska's eastern interior. The Alaska Gateway School District encompasses 28,000 square miles, extending north from the Alaska Range to the Yukon River and Canadian border. Temperatures range from 70 below to 90 above. This podcast provides engaging interviews and informative discussions, highlighting the distinct perspectives of our guests as they shape the future of education, with the ultimate goal of inspiring students to achieve success. Explore with us the culturally rich and diverse stories of the Alaska Gateway community.
I'm Lindsay, your host. Today I'm here with Patrick Mayer, the superintendent, and together we are going to have a conversation about what's happening in the new school year, all about the communities that encompass the Alaska Gateway School District, and the complexities of how you deliver services across those distances. Welcome, Superintendent Mayer.
Thank you, Lindsay, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Why don't you tell us more about yourself and how you ended up in this district?
45 years ago, I moved to Alaska with the intent of staying here for 2 years. I've been 12 years a superintendent throughout the state. I was in Wrangell first. I moved on from there to a town called Yakutat. Then I moved out into the Aleutian Islands, which is, you think of Alaska, it's the tail that goes way out into the Pacific. And maybe many of you have seen Deadliest Catch. Well, Deadliest Catch takes place out in that part of the world. I actually took a left-hand turn and went to Oregon for a year. And that was a phenomenal experience. I was in a little town called Glide. And then after being there for a year, although I had the option to stay, Alaska still just, pulled on me. And so I was able to come back to Tok in the interior. And so just a little bit about our district. We have just an amazing future ahead of us. There are so many great things going on in this district. We have just completed this past year our strategic plan. We have a number of partnerships. We have a gold mine, the Moncho mine, operated by Kinross. It is a very large, productive gold mine located outside of the community of Tetlin. We also partner with the University of Alaska Fairbanks, University of Alaska Anchorage, and the University of Alaska Southeast in different core content areas. We also are unique in that we have a biomass plant here. And so what does biomass mean to us? Well, we collect wood chips and we use that to heat Tok School. And we also generate electricity for our school with the hope of being somewhat energy independent. Tied to that biomass facility is a large greenhouse. We just wrote a grant that would support that greenhouse expansion. And our hope is to, at least to some degree, become food independent. Another thing that was here in the works before I arrived was a partnership with General Electric. And this holds some great promise because they wish to come here and put in a multi-port inverter and generate electricity for Tok School. And tie that into our biomass boiler, which would work together in a synchronized system. So we're hopeful that will transpire perhaps in the next year.
You've been able to go into a district and right away be able to recognize strengths and weaknesses and areas of improvement. And so how do you see this year going in terms of setting goals and creating a focus?
Coming into this district, there were many great attributes and also things that were in need of improvement. For one thing, I really felt like we needed to look at our student academic achievement data very closely because we always have to be looking at what strengths and deficiencies that there are in our student learning, and then develop through implementation of a professional learning community process ways to provide intervention for students to address those issues. And just improving the culture, no matter how good your culture is, you always need to look at how can we improve, making sure that You hire the best people into positions that you can, regardless of where they're from.
Let's talk a little bit more about that staff because you really do have a diverse staff throughout your schools.
First of all, there was a great core staff here of teachers that had been here for many years. And then we had some turnover in district office. And when you look at those folks, they're critical because they're the people that are behind the scenes. But one of the things that we faced that was a big concern last year is we knew we were going to have a number of vacancies in the order of 6 to 7. We partnered with Kodiak Island Borough School District. They had been recruiting teachers out of the Philippines. We went to the Philippines this past January. In a very structured way, we looked for people that had strong English skills and teaching candidates that brought to us a very, rich and diverse experience for our school district. And we actually have brought in 6 teachers from the Philippines, having already had 4 here in the district before that. And they are just a great addition. They have many, many talents to augment the talents of the teachers that were already here. We actually interviewed around 400 people and then pared that down to our most likely candidates, again, to augment that already existing staff. And it's just all part of a very exciting package for how to best serve our students and bring our district forward.
So we've talked about partnerships and the importance of those in the schools. But what are other ways that families and community members can become involved in their schools? And why is that important?
Community partnerships and business partnerships are super, super important to the forward movement of the district. I've already talked about some of our partners, but if you're going to talk about families and family members, them being present at events and at every opportunity being there for their kids. I'm going to use Eagle as an example. This year we have 15 kids in Eagle. It is our most remote site. But the principal out there, Christy Robbins, if you go out there on any given day, what you will see is at 8:30 in the morning, literally every parent there at the school, in the library, and every student. And they talk about the week. They talk about the calendar. They talk only for like 15 minutes about things that are going on in the school. And everyone gets a chance to speak. And it is super important because that really sends the message that there is a strong bond between the community, the parents, and the school, and of course, the students. So we're trying to replicate that at other sites. Now, you can never give up on trying to reach out to parents. It is a challenge. People are busy. We really try to focus on that, and we're brainstorming ways to make that even better than it is.
Superintendent Mayer, thank you so much for educating us about the Alaska Gateway School District. I wish you the most success this year. There's no doubt that you guys are going to have a great school year.
I really appreciate that, and I look forward to subsequent podcasts so that we can further connect with the community. Thank you.